two more events where they can come see you and how to purchase tickets because they need to see you live. If they haven't already got their box out tickets for Saturday, I need them to get the next two events. There's no reason we ain't gonna be packing the house.
Absolutely. So, if you are not following me on social media, that is probably the easiest way to check out my events because I always post them. So, Instagram, I am Dr. Dr. Period Tiff Tiff Sings Sings. And then on Facebook and also TikTok is just Dr. Tiff Sings. But other than the gala, you can find me on October 22nd at Classic Blends. It is, if you have not been to this spot, it is a Black owned coffee and cigar lounge. Very upscale, very nice, just a chill environment. So if you've never been there before, I highly suggest that. And then on October 29th, I will be at Soiree and I will be with Kevin Churchboy. And if you have never heard him, he is excellent as well. So yeah, October 22nd and October 29th. I have stuff before that, but it's private events that's not open to the public. Because your girl is working. I'm booked and busy through December. Okay.
Big work.
I like that
Big
that
work.
booked and busy, and it's gonna stay that way because if they come and see you on October 22nd or October 29th, because I don't think October 22nd there's a cover, so y'all bring some cash, put in the
No.
tip jar. Make sure y'all tip the cigar. I don't know what to call them, but the cigar bar people, make sure y'all tip them. You don't have to smoke cigars to actually enjoy the space. If you're like, I don't like the smell of cigar smoke, okay, cool. Soiree on 18th and Vine. Now you know 18th and Vine don't play. They got you can't be on Vine and sing if you can't sing. So go on, you're going on Vine and Soiree and Kevin Churchboy. That's my homie since like middle school. He is absolutely a phenomenal musician. He is a KCPS alum. He has done so much work in the city, and he has deliberately chosen to stay in Kansas City when he could have been going elsewhere and making so much. So for him to make that choice, and I've been in the room with him as he spoke it, he legitimately cares about uplifting the city. And for you to be with them, I know for sure that this is going to be an incredible event. So you might see me at Soiree. And I know if it's a Friday night, usually they got catfish. So if y'all, your boy know what to get at Soiree, don't play. Go on to spend some money, and they drinks are on point too.
Yeah.
18th of Vine on October 29th. Follow
Yeah,
Dr.
I would
Tiff.
I would highly suggest making reservations now because if you try to come in the day of, I guarantee you you're not going to find a seat. So start making those
Friday.
reservations now.
Hey, look, listen, they're gonna have to find out standing room only unless you come with me, we gonna find a seat. But that's because I'm gonna know somebody else in the room that's gonna be willing to save me a seat. So y'all find somebody to save you a seat so that y'all can be in the space for this incredible performance. That is Dr. Tiff Sings on Facebook, Twitter, and then Dr. Tiff Sings on Instagram. You all
Mhm.
need to follow this page for events. Understand you may not get a personal invite, but this is your personal invite right now on the Lyne't Gray Show on KUAW. You're getting an official invite from the artists themselves. Can you just give them a quick other? I want to get a tune out of you. I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but I want to get a sample. But we're gonna get that towards speaking this evening. We're gonna get a sample out of you because you've been also as a part of what you do. You're a phenomenal decorator. You're also a phenomenal planner and organizer. We executed last year the Box Out Gala, very first, the inaugural one, and I had to run it back. I was like, "Look, it's Gala week. You want to come on? You got to come on." And I was talking about the gala from last year, and I was talking to Mr. George. He was saying like, "Yo, I think I saw your video," and I was like, this your video from last year." So we're running it back. I got my right hand man. We do too much together, and I see you got my partner in crime, John O'Reilly's wonderful name on his name. But this is Richie Cherry. He is here to speak about the Box Out Gala. It is supporting Box Out Stress. If you don't know what Box Out Stress is, I'm gonna give you a brief synopsis. but I'm gonna let him tell you more. But Box Out Stress is literally a stress management platform. And if you are trying to figure out what is going on in your life, all the stresses you have, you need to book a session with Box Out Stress. You can talk it out. Then you get a chance to box it out. But you ain't hitting nobody else in the face. You might as well cancel that out your mind frame. You will get the chance to actually learn how to use those moves effectively and efficiently. But regardless of that, you release your stress and have a cathartic release too. My man has combined his passion for counseling and his boxing professionalism to this platform. So if you haven't heard of Box Out Stress, you late on the curve, but you now here. So can I introduce you to the illustrious Richie Cherry? I wanted to say his boxing name, but y'all gonna have to hear that on your own.
What's up, everybody? Mr. Fuller, thank you so much, man. I appreciate this opportunity. I see you have my best friend. Hey, bestie. Uh, and yes, you know what? We're coming back this year with a phenomenal gala. And I just want to tell everybody to please, first and foremost, go ahead and get your tickets at boxoutstress.com/gala. It's going to be an awesome night. This is the gala round two. This means this is our second time doing it, guys. We're going to 12 rounds, and then we'll figure out something else to do. But right now, I'm asking the whole community, be our champions on this night. Go get your tickets, go get your dresses, go get your suits, go get any type of outfit you want, but make sure it's semi-formal and come into the building with us and have a good time.
So can you tell them how did you come up with Box Out Stress? Like how did you pull out that? What inspired you to do Box Out Stress? Give them a little history.
I got you. I think box out stress has been something that's been a part of me since youth, and it was just waiting to just come out of me in my adult life. Counseling has always been a part of me since high school. I wanted to be a counselor. So going from high school into to college is where I found the love for counseling and decided to say, you know what, I want to make a true career out of this. And so I wanted to go into school counseling to lay the foundation for the kids that have possibly went through certain things. I mean, the same or similar things that I've experienced as a child. So as I matriculated from Oklahoma, Alabama to Kansas City, is where the conception of Box Out started in the Kansas City Public School District. The kids were coming to my office with so many needs. And I wanted to create something that would allow them to not only talk out their issues, but use a physical component such as boxing to let out the issues or the feelings that they were experiencing. So in the July of 2020, I decided to say, you know what? Let me marry two of my passions, which is counseling and boxing together to bring healing not only to those students, but teachers wanted to gravitate to it. And then it just created something very powerful that I love, and a lot of my members, they love it as well.
Now, you all have three phenomenal Black educators on screen, so I can tell you when we talk about stress, it's going we not sugarcoating. This gray hair that you see that's coming through epically was earned. Okay, it wasn't just randomly popping out; it was all earned. Um, and I speak that because we also have more than one passion. Your teachers, all the educational professionals, they have one more than one passion. And I love to see people following their passions because it tells the world that you got to let our light shine, but also you give room to let your students' light shine as well. Um, Tiffany and Richie, y'all both can kind of answer this. What is one thing, and how did you know you were on the right path for letting your passion shine when it comes to the educational standpoint? So, one event or one moment that you knew when you let your passion shine through that it made a true impact on your students.
I answer that first. I know Tiffany has already been on, but I can remember one vivid incident. Me coming into the counseling field or the world of school counseling. My first year, I had a student who who came to school this particular day. They had just found their parent dead in the basement of their home. And this kid, I asked this kid told me at the end of the day, Mr. Cherry, I have something I want to tell you. And I was like, what's going on? Talk to me. Well, she said, I just found, I think I found my mom dead. And I was like, what? Are you serious? I said, you can't say anything like that, right? Not knowing, right? Not being able to understand exactly what this child was feeling. And to come out, I mean, for it to come out, I found it was true. It was true that this child did that. And I asked the child, why did you come to school, right? The child came to school because of the hype sessions that I did in the gym each morning. She told me, Mr. Cherry, I did not want to miss the hype sessions. This is why I come to school. And that's when I realized that this was my purpose and I needed to let that light shine no matter where I go. So when people say, why are you always so energetic? Why are you so happy, Mr. Cherry? It was because of that moment. I realized that I would not dim my light in any room that I walk in.
Powerful, powerful. All right, come on, Doc, your turn.
So for me as a teacher, I try to do things in a way to make kids connect, not even understanding that I was doing things that people were doing in the educational field. This was my second career, so I was just doing stuff that made sense to me to connect with students. And so it was these three particular students that were like really, really low in my classes. And I kind of tailored this plan around them. So I spent one weekend creating this plan to do centers in my middle school class. And everybody was saying, well, that's not going to work. It's an elementary concept. And I'm thinking to myself, I have to find a way to get these kids in small groups in my classroom so that I can give them the individual interventions that they need so that they can move. And when I say move, as far as moving from like below basic to proficient to advanced, because those are the terms that we use in the educational field to classify kids and where their skill set is. So I sat and I went through this plan, I spent my whole weekend going through this plan. I did it for every class, but really tailoring it around these three students that were really low. They didn't qualify for an IEP or anything like that. They was just kind of, you have those kids who are just in the middle and they don't qualify for any special support. So it's really up to the teachers to provide that intervention. And so anything that I do, I always put my whole heart into it. So I spent this weekend creating this elaborate plan to put my kids into centers. And when I first started it, it was a hot mess. And I was just like, you know what, I'm going to just go back to what I was doing at first. But then I was like, you know what, let me try it for another week. Let me, because they're not used to it yet. Let me see if it'll work for them. And so I continue to go on with these centers and continue to go on. And eventually it worked. The kids knew what to do. I never had to talk to the kids other than the ones that I was meeting in a small group with. And so it will be moments that I was meeting with these three kids who were extremely low and they were in one class. And I would just see light bulbs go off for them. And usually what I would do in my small group is that we would do some type of activity that was aligned with whatever skill set, whatever grade level they were on. And then I would introduce a grade level skill and try to tie that in to bridge the gap. And then I would do an activity with them. I would have them work together while we're in that group. And then I would send them back to their seat and have them do maybe like 3 or 4 questions to see if they were able to grasp that concept. And then I would get the feedback automatically. And so this kind of went on for a couple months. And so I was getting my kids prepared for the district benchmark assessment. And so how, and this was a district in St. Louis, and how it was set up was that they kind of predicted where our kids should be based off what their baseline scores were. And I'm very competitive. I always want to go above and beyond. So I was making sure like we meet every day. I meet with all of these different groups. So I didn't only just meet with these 3 kids. So the way that I set it up was that I would see every group every day for at least 20 minutes. And so the district rolled out the benchmark assessment. The kids took the benchmark assessment, and all 3 of those kids scored proficient. And at that moment, I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing a little bit. And so, and that was my first year teaching. And so from that moment, I was like, people always say what kids can't do and put them in a box. But if they know that you care for them and they know that you got their best interests at heart, kids are going to go to the moon and back for you. So that was the defining moment that let me know that this is what I was supposed to be doing.
You know, I really don't have much I can say besides you just heard an example from Brother Richie when he mentioned resilience, right? And then the transition of growing into his space, but also understanding that he has to be his authentic self in every space that he walks into. And then you heard from the doc about persistence and then competitive in a positive way, right? We always talk about competition as if everyone has to win the race, but the reality is not about crossing the finish line. It's about, can you go further than that finish line was even there, right? So the goal is not what's right in front of you, what somebody else set for you. It's the goal is what you set for yourself. And those are powerful things that you don't get to see and don't get to hear. And so one of the things I know, if you pay attention to the box out page, you see people living those two things. Can you explain what a box out session is?
Yes, I love doing this part. So a typical box out session, each time a group or a person comes, I like to build a affirmation for that person, right? It's power in reflecting on an affirmation that you've just been that's been bestowed upon you. Sorry. Um, I am a firm believer that when we have things that reminds us of the growth of where we're trying to go, then we find power in that. One of the first affirmations I created was for myself, and that was to be aware is to have strength. And I realized that if I'm aware of the things that I've overcome, then I have strength to continue that race. So I try to give each space an affirmation that's uniquely for them. I don't come up with it. I think it's just a divine thing. And it just happens in that space. And so people love that part. And so then we start to talk out the stress that we're actually experiencing. And after talking that stress out, we find out that we need a little bit more motivational, and that's where the boxing comes in at, right? It's a mental component and a physical component. Then we break down the 6 phases of stress that we all deal with on a daily basis. That's mental, physical, emotional, social, financial, and spiritual. Once you're able to examine those areas of your life, I promise you, you'll start to feel better about where you're going.
Say those areas again, just for those in the back.
For those that are in the back and those are to the left and those are to the right, we examine the mental, the physical, the emotion, the social, the financial, and the spiritual state or the spiritual realms that we all experience those adversities as it relates to those 6 phases. So, for that child that is coming to school and knowing that math is not his favorite subject, and so now he's acting out, he has a mental stress or a mental anxiety going to that class. And so we talked it out. I get with that kid and I talk that out with that kid and give that kid some coping mechanisms that would allow him to feel better when he goes into that class and has to deal with math. Or for that mother that is struggling with her child, a mental stress of, hey, he won't clean his room. So providing that kids with some more, the kid and the parent with skills that would allow them to work together to achieve that goal. So we have different ways that we reach different clients with different issues as it relates to those 6 phases.
And I love that you have those 5 stages, or 6 actually, make sure I'm counting correctly, because you talked about math. So 6 areas that we have a lot of stress. And most people don't think about how that stress is impacting or showcasing. For those of us that have problems with weight, more than likely your stress is going to showcase in weight gain. right? Like, just to be upfront, either extreme gain or extreme loss. And that's going to be a trigger saying that I have stress. I need to do something about it. So having a place or just getting a regimen for some stress relief, right? And not necessarily relief, but acknowledgement and dealing with it, right? From a perspective of a professional, but also getting yourself together when it comes to that physical and cathartic release. We hold on to our stress in our bodies. It keeps us up at night. We eat trash diets. We already have a hard time getting a good diet regardless, but it's worse when you're stressed out because then you either forget to eat or you eat too much or you eat the wrong things, and then you're stuck trying to figure out what happened, right? Stress is truly showcased in depression as well. So understanding your mental capacity, understanding your physical capacity, but that finances hit, I'm telling you now, them finances gonna hit and they gonna trigger everything. You're gonna be like, dang, I don't know what to do. So I wanted to bring up that Lyne't posted something today, and it was a financial tidbit that I gotta share with everybody. One, put your calendar out. Anything that you are artwork or artist, put your whole calendar out and update it as you go through. I love that Dr. Tiff says she is booked and busy, but if you all wanted to see her public performances, then it's going to be placed out in a space that you can see it and put it out well way before a month in advance. Now, sometimes in Kansas City, we like to wait to a month out because that's what the event itself, those organizers put it out a month out. And so I can safely say with Box Out, y'all been seeing this for like the last 6 months. And then you seen it for the last 6 weeks. And then you seen it for the last 30 days, right? Like there's no way you don't know that there's a gala coming up. And if you don't know, A, you ain't paying attention. B, you ain't bought a ticket. And C, you ain't talked to one of us. Because I'm going to tell you, you coming to the gala, every time I turn around, somebody's getting that question. You coming to the gala. So I want you all to know that you can go and get that, right? And so, Richie, I see that you got a time limit, so I'm gonna keep it. You know, we're gonna be on time anyway. But I gotta take a station break for a second and make sure everybody know that you're listening to Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, KUAW, live from Kansas City, the Lyne't Gray Show. And she always wishes you prosperity, health, wealth, and well-being. And this is a primary example of having someone showcasing health, wealth, and well-being. You have passions from educators, you have passionate educators, and you have people that are continuing to learn. That is what you have on the Lyne't Gray Show. Thank you for tuning in on Tuesday nights from 8 p.m. because I'm about to say 8 a.m. That's how you know I'm ready to go to work. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And for some of y'all on that 12 hours advance, it might be 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. for you too. So please tune in via Facebook, tune in the app, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn if I'm right, and Periscope. I know we have all of those going. Mr. Walker's like, we got 15 ways for you to watch us. If you ain't tuning in, it's on you. And so shout out. And if y'all didn't know that KUAW is the first global, right, Black-owned radio station in Kansas City, global, and there's listeners across the world right now. So I want you all to understand that this is not just a local radio station that we're shining on, but we're shining on something that is reaching across further than we may even travel. And hopefully I get to travel because I'm trying not to be in Kansas City. So that financial stress we got to work on so I can get my travel so that my finances and travel can go what I want to do. That's how I want to live, right? So we got to talk a little bit more. But can you tell people how to purchase a ticket for the Box Out Gala and then kind of give them a little bit about what's going to happen at the gala?
Definitely, definitely, definitely. So first and foremost, take out your handy dandy phone and you can go to boxoutstress.com/gala. Go on our page, go to the event page, and you will see the gala there. Get your tickets. They're $50 right now. They're subject to go up at the gala. So come on, y'all. Get them right now so they don't go up. You don't incur that charge. First, I think it's very important to tell people the why behind this gala, right? The why is that we wanted to bring out community champions, people in the community that are doing championship style work centered around mental health, This is a mental health platform, and we want to connect other mental health professionals, other mental health organizations together, link them all in the room so people can see the resources that are available. Last but not least, we have box out members that have some phenomenal skills. Tiffany Witt, Tiff sings. She's a box out member, and I decided to say, you know what? I want to highlight my box out members. We also have a Chef Shani. Chef Shani is a box out member. I wanted to highlight these skills because people in our community don't always. It's so many different artists. It's so many different chefs. So I'm saying, look, on this night is just for these champions right now. Right? I want people to come out, get your tickets. If you've never seen Tiff sing before, this is your opportunity. I promise you, you don't want to miss this opportunity. They say get her while she's hot right now, because when she blow all the way up, then you're going to have to go fly to see her. So you can see her right now in KC at the Night of Champions Gala Round 2, which goes down October the 1st, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at iWorks in North Kansas City. The address is 1520 Clay Street. 1520 Clay Street. Come on out, guys. We're gonna have an awesome night. This is a semi-formal event. I'm not telling you to come to dress with the 9s and 10s, but I am. I'm gonna be dressed to the 9s and 10s, and I want you guys to come and just experience all the other champions in the room. We're also honoring the two mental health platforms.
You can't tell everybody. You can't tell them. Don't tell them, Richie. Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it and tell you who's going to be honored. But I decided to do something a little bit different. I'm giving it's a championship style. So, with that boxing thing, boxing has always been a part of my life. And I just want everybody to continue to fight and can fight for mental health.
Now, I just got to remind people, if you don't make it to the gala, you still got chances to see Dr. Tiff Sings. She done shared that with you. I'm going to share it again. It's also in the chat. So if you don't have a way to figure out your way to see Dr. Tiff Sings, that's on you. And I get to highlight this because when you see individuals that give of themselves, we're going to support and encourage. And one thing I love about the Box Out Gala, it is an individual giving of himself. He has this platform. When he came to me last year, he was like, hey, I'm interested. I'm trying to do a gala. Hey, are you interested in helping me? I'm like, I guess, yeah. And he was like, you know what? I want you to, I'll be a Fully for the People member, whatever you want to call it. He's got the event supports. And what he said was, I want to do something positive for my community, but also somewhere where we can get together and have a great time. And what we decided was a gala. And in the future, and when people are trying to figure out, like, why are you doing a gala? Why does it sound like, listen, Richie and Box Out Stress does not charge any young person that actually does a session. He does not charge for children. So the Box Out Stress Gala is to help make sure we turn Box Out Stress profitable to the point where he can do this full time, but also make it so that he can have a nonprofit wing, which is in the works, right? Like that. He right now, can you? I'm gonna tell you. Go ahead and shout out your exact location right now, because people don't know. I know the background, but let them know, where are you at live? Where are you coming from tonight?
Right now, man, I'm here on the Vine at Porterhouse KC. These have been some of our big supporters, and so now we have a business cohort that's going down, and they just putting a lot of tools in my box to make sure that I'm successful going forward with many galas and other ventures that I decide to do. But these Porterhouse KC, Give KC, these are some of the big sponsors that are backing and making sure that Box Out continue to do the work. But they're just like, you know what, we're going to drop some gems into your lap, and we just want you to utilize them. So they're dedicated in this work as well. Hence why we're still here at 9 o'clock at night, because they see the value in my platform. I see the value in the things that they're doing in the community, and I just want to continue to let you guys shine your light on them too.
I was like, what's the name of the cohort you in? What's the name of the cohort you in?
Well, right now, this is the Porterhouse Gift Cohort. Right now, the first ever Porterhouse and Gift Cohort. And yeah, man, I just want y'all to just, whatever Porterhouse KC, whatever gift is doing in the community, y'all, please go out and support those businesses. These are hidden gems. They're really not hidden, to be honest with you. They're out in the open. They're out in front. But whatever you see from the Porterhouse KC, Give KC, make sure you support them, because most of the time when they give you something, it's normally free. Just keeping it real. I like to say that because I know a lot of people want something free sometimes, but when they dropping gems and they giving you platforms to scale up your businesses, to market yourself, please go support them.
And if I can jump in and just say a bit about Box Out, because I haven't heard either of you say this. In the Black community, we suppress our mental health. We don't want to share it because we don't want to sound crazy, or we don't want to look crazy in front of other people. And this is really a powerful tool. I'm definitely a member. Richie has definitely talked me down many times. And I'm not just saying that because we're really close and we're friends. This is truly an organization that has helped me personally. And so it's something given back to the Black community. And I know that he wants to reach everybody, but this is something that goes back into the Black community to service them, those areas where we don't like to talk about a lot of stuff. We would rather sweep it under the rug and make people believe that everything is okay. But in reality, this is an opportunity for anybody who is going through anything, reach out, because he's always available. He's never going to tell you no. And the same attitude and energy that he has with one person, he's going to have that with every single person. He gets on my nerves. And he will go hard in the paint on you during those sessions, okay? You will be sweating out of breath, I'm telling you. But when you get done, it's like the weight of the world is lifted off of your shoulders. And I'm not just saying that because he's my friend. I've been through many sessions with him. He's helped me a whole lot with a lot of things in my life, and helping me to think things through and think things from a different perspective. And I was one of those people who didn't want to share anything with anybody else. It took him a long time to really help me open up to him and push those things out of me. But once he was able to get them out, it felt so good. And to be able to talk it out and then box it out and just get that stress out, speaking it verbally and then doing that physical aspect, like I really felt good. So if you are going through a stressful time in your life and you just need a different outlet, please, please, please hit up Box Out Stress. We not just blowing smoke up your butt. This is really something that can help the Black community. And it just needs to be heard more in the Black community. And we need to get more of these resources out for our community to make it better.
I want to say one thing. I appreciate that, Tiffany, so much. I want to say that we make it cool for you to talk out your feelings, right? We make it okay. Oftentimes, we think going into a counseling office is beneath us. Oftentimes, we think telling people our feelings or expressing ourselves is beneath us. But we make it okay. We make it cool for you to really share, because what we don't want you to do is suppress those feelings and then allow those feelings to pour out in a negative form somewhere else. We have families, right, that loves us. We have our place of work that needs us to show up every day and be our best selves. And so having a stress management platform allows you to dump that and get back into the race, right? Because the work is never done. So I want you guys to understand that this is a place where you could come, be cool about talking it out, be cool about boxing it out.
And I'll say this in a test, since we are testing, I get boxed out on the regular. I don't have an appointment. We work together. This is my neighbor. He gets full of people. I get boxed out. And I know it dropped the jewel on Monday. This is a jewel I've been hearing anyway. I tell people to advocate for themselves. He's like, bro, you keep telling everybody to advocate for themselves. When you gonna advocate for you? And so, like, he's going to challenge you to do what you're saying. And it's not necessarily anything against it, but he's going to say, hey, look, now, what's the outcome? What's the worst is going to be? And I'm like, hey, I get you. And he does it in a way that it makes you feel like, you know what, he ain't battering me. He didn't give me a 1-2 to the face. It might have been to the gut because sometimes you got to hear something hit you right in the stomach, like but it was right on time. And so I love that. But some of his members, I'll tell you, he has ministers, he has educators, he has young people, he has elderly, he also does corporate, right? So if you're like, hey, how can I access it? You can reach him and do a corporate session for your whole entire office. He's done professional developments for school buildings. He did a professional development for me when he just started out. And I mean, we've been tight ever since, but it was also looking at the entirety of my staff, entirety of the staff we had there for the school I was at, and our students were watching us and seeing
Yes.
us talk it out and then see us boxing out. And now I promise you, ain't nothing like hearing a crowd box you and say your name while you boxing. I understand why people want to box. I just don't want to get hit in the face. But a crowd of young people shouting out your name, telling you how great it is. That was an inspirational feeling, but it also got you to understand that they're seeing what you do and they're following it. And so another 2 events that he does and hosts. Can you tell them about those 2 other events that you have that are regular occurrences?
Yes. So for our men, we have a bourbon and boxing with Black Co. In conjunction with Black Co. This is an opportunity. This is a night. This is an event that brothers can come on out, express yourselves in a platform or an event that you don't normally get to do. Right. So being able to come out, bourbon and boxing series. We're going to start them back up after the gala. We also have for the women boxing and mimosas. It's the same concept where women get together and they pretty much share their thoughts centered around mental health as well, in ways that they take care of themselves. Guys, this platform is for all, okay? Any able body that's ready to talk out their feelings and emotions and aggressions, come on out. If you're ready to box out, you're ready to use a motivational boxing workout, come on out. You can reach me. I'm so reachable. Reach me on all of my platforms, Box Out Stress. That's Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok. If you need my support, I'm in the community all the time doing the work. I'm also a part of the Kansas City Public School District, being able to provide people with employment if that's an opportunity that you would like. But most importantly, I am here for stress management. I embodies what it means to truly be stress free. When I show up, you know for a fact I'm not dealing with anything because I've just poured that out somewhere else. And I'm encouraging you to allow Box Out to be that place that you pour those feelings out. Okay. Get your tickets. If you can't be there, go ahead on and support somebody else by buying a ticket and saying, you know what, Richie, I want to become one of your social media champions. Social media champions, you just sowed a seed to somebody else for them to come. It's people right now that saying, Miss Richie, I want to be there, but I don't have the funds right now. Listen, guys, events like this, they cost. If I can do it free for everybody, everybody on this platform know for a fact I do it for free. So I'm not in this bid. I'm not doing the gala to make any money. I'm doing it to sow back into the community and say, look, guys, we have these resources here for you and your people. So come on out. Go to boxoutstress.com/gala. Get your tickets. If you can't get there, get a $50 ticket for somebody else. And I promise you, I'm going to shout you out all the way. Y'all, that's my time. My name is Richie Cherry, owner and operator of Box Out Stress. You need me? Get in touch with me.
Hey, before you jump off, Richie, can you tell them who we honored last year at the gala? Who are the 2 organizations just so that they can look them up for themselves?
Yes, we had Children Against Homicide. Children by homicide victims. Uh, Phenomenal. You know, Sunny, phenomenal woman. We also had Girl. Is it giving? Give it an acronym. Give me the acronym.
Girl,
Giving your.
GYRL, giving yourself real love. With
There we go.
y'all don't see Mr. Walker. He know who we're talking about. She's also
Yeah.
a host on the KUAW regularly. And so I can promise you they have events. So I suggest that you support those organizations. and then just continue to be present as we go through, because I think if you don't come, you're going to miss out on some positive people that are working. Tiffany, I'm gonna let you get the final thought, but Richie, thank you for coming on tonight. I appreciate you because I want to hear. I hope Tiffany's ready. I see she's warming up like
I think she got it too. She got it. But I'm gonna
Don't let
save
it
my ears because I gotta get my son. But I love everybody out there. Please go support. If you can't support this, support something. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all.
Thank you, Richie, for coming out and being on. And I'm just happy to run this back, and I can't wait. We're gonna do it again next year because this is just the second one. We got more to go. And so as we get ready to
Always.
close out, because I always got to put the superstar last, right, Doctor? You got to be ready. Yeah, I want you to give him a little sample. You can give it
I'll
from your
give him a
album. That way,
little.
we don't have no copyright missing.
I'll give him a little sample. I don't own the rights to this music. These lyrics. I'm gonna give him a little Whitney Houston since we've been talking about kids all night. I'll do just a little bit because if you want to hear me, you need to come to the gala or come to one of the events. But here we go. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. That's all you get.
Look, y'all, that's all y'all gonna get for free. You got the Box Art Gala. You got October 22nd. She's gonna be at the cigar bar, right? So say the name of that one again.
Classic Blends.
I don't know why I just wanted to say cigar bar. Classic Blends, coffee and cigar.
Yes.
That's up in North Kansas City. For those that haven't been, go. It's a phenomenal venue.
It's literally right around the corner from iWorks. So, like right around the corner.
There's no way you can't say you can't find it. And then also on October 29th, she's going to be, and I wrote this down in the chat. So you see me looking over, I'm making sure I keep my notes correct. At Soiree, which
make your reservations. Yeah, so both times are from 8 to 11. So for the cigar bar, you don't need a reservation, but definitely for Soiree, please make a reservation.
And I tell you all up front, if you all don't get this voice while you can, y'all gonna be mad because Beyonce started off somewhere. And I just want y'all to know, I want to be able to say I knew her when, and then I know she gonna let me come up with her on stage. I ain't gonna sing, but I'm gonna be up there. Now, if I sing, y'all gonna be like, he can, but I'm not. So thank you all for tuning in to, once again, the KUAW, standing for knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. You got Fuller for the people up here, Jorge Fuller for the people. If you didn't hear me earlier, know that you have your voting rights infringed upon right now in the state of Missouri. Get that together. Make sure that you are completely registered. Make sure you have the correct ID, and make sure you know who you're voting for and what you're voting for, because at the end of the day, lack of voting is still a strong message, and your voice deserves to be heard, and it has to be done for our youth, because everything that's been happening now is going to impact our future and our future's future. I stand on three principles: as educational prosperity, economic progress, and civic relationships. And tonight you got to see passions from educators. You also got to see the economic portion because they own themselves and they're working for themselves as well. And of course, the civic relationships, you won't get information unless you know the people that are sharing the information. I hope you all enjoyed the Lyne't Gray Show here Tuesday nights from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Tuesday. You may not always get to see me, but you will get a show. And if you get a repeat show, just know you got some wisdom coming, some understanding, and a whole lot of knowledge. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. KUAW every Tuesday.
Have a good night.
I have a